In a quiet village where time seemed to move slowly, there lived an old tailor named Baba Tunde. His shop, the Golden Stitch, was hidden behind the market, with faded curtains and a wooden sign carved decades ago. Children whispered that he could sew more than just cloth, he could sew destinies. Most thought it was just folklore, but those who had entered the shop with heavy hearts often left with lighter steps. One humid evening, a girl named Amara stood outside Baba Tunde's door, her school uniform torn at the hem. She clutched the fabric with trembling fingers. Her mother had warned her not to go, but she failed her exams and feared her father's wrath. Rumors said Baba Tunde could fix more than uniforms, he could turn back time. She knocked. The door creaked open on its own. Inside, the air smelled of camphor, leather, and something older, something timeless. Baba Tunde sat beneath a single lantern, his white beard flowing over his chest. Without looking up, he said, "You've come late, but just in time." Amara's voice was small. "Can you fix this?" He lifted the uniform gently, running callous fingers along the fabric. "You seek more than a stitch, child. You seek a second chance." Her eyes widened. "You know." Baba Tunde nodded slowly. "Time is fabric, worn, mended. Cut if you pull the wrong thread. It unravels everything. But sometimes, with the right stitch." He trailed off, pulling out a spool of shimmering gold thread. "This is not ordinary thread," he said. "It gives you 1 hour to relive a choice. But every stitch costs something." Amara hesitated. "What do you mean?" "A memory, the one tied to your biggest regret, will fade. Forever." She swallowed. Could she risk forgetting? Could she risk not fixing her mistake? He handed her a thimble. "You decide. Once I begin, you must finish the hour." She nodded. The needle pierced the fabric. A pulse of heat surged through her chest. The world blurred, then spun. Suddenly, she was back in the examination hall. The moment she had panicked and copied answers from her friend. This time, her hands stayed still. She wrote what she knew. When she awoke back in the shop, the torn uniform was whole. But when she tried to recall what she'd done wrong in the first place, she couldn't remember. Baba Tunde smiled gently. "A stitch in time saves more than 9, child. It saves your soul." Outside, the sky was clearer, the wind calmer. But in a nearby village, another soul faced a moment of choice, and the needle stirred again. The next day, Baba Tunde sat cross-legged, sewing a baby's cap when a man in a sharp suit walked in. His name was Chuka, a politician climbing fast but haunted by a decision he'd made years ago, one that betrayed his brother to gain favor. "I need a stitch," he said, voice tight, "to fix what I broke." Baba Tunde looked at him, eyes full of age and truth. "Do you wish to erase the betrayal, or the pain it caused you?" Chuka faltered. "Does it matter?" The tailor stood, his fingers hovering over a blue thread. "It matters. One saves others. One saves only you." Chuka lowered his head. "I want to undo it." Baba Tunde threaded the needle. As it pierced the fabric, Chuka's heart raced. He awoke in his parents' home the night he sold out his brother, Amika. But this time, he stood up to his sponsor, walked away, and told Amika the truth. Back in the shop, his phone buzzed. "A message. Thank you, bro. I don't know what changed, but I'm alive because of you." Yet, Chuka couldn't remember the argument that tore them apart. That pain gone like dust. Baba Tunde whispered, "The fabric of time is repaired, but the whole of forgetting remains." That evening, a woman named Ifeoma entered the shop, eyes hollow. "I made a choice," she whispered. "I lost a child, and I don't know if I was right." Baba Tunde said nothing for a long time. He brought out a pink ribbon, delicate and shimmering. "This stitch is different," he warned. "You will not change the past, only meet what might have been." Ifeoma nodded, trembling. The needle entered the ribbon, and suddenly she was holding a child, a little girl named Zara, full of questions and laughter. For 1 full hour, they lived, played, hugged. At the end, Zara faded like mist. Back in the shop, Ifeoma cried silently. "It hurt, but now I can let go." Baba Tunde placed the ribbon in her hand. "Sometimes the stitch isn't to change the past. It's to sow peace into the present." One rainy morning, twins arrived. Olamide and Miller, inseparable since birth, but now divided by ambition. One wanted to leave for Europe illegally. The other wanted to stay and build. "We argued," Olamide said. "He left. He's gone." Baba Tunde studied them. "You only have time to change one heart. Whose will it be?" They stared at each other. Finally, Lola stepped forward. "Change mine." The stitch was made, this time, at the crossroads. He grabbed his brother and said, "Let's try together here, please." The future blurred and stitched itself anew. Months later, they had started a tech business, small, but legal and honest. Back in the shop, Baba Tunde smiled. "To fix others, sometimes we must first fix ourselves." Madam a Duke, the village gossip, barged in with tears. Her granddaughter had stopped talking to her, and no one knew why. I just want to say sorry, she said. Baba Tunde picked a silver thread. This will not take you to the past. It will bring you into the memory she cannot forget. With a stitch, a duke saw through her granddaughter's eyes. The day a duke humiliated her before her friends, shouting insults. A duke cried. I didn't know it hurt her so. Back in the shop, she picked up her phone and typed a message. Come home. I'm listening now. The door remained open for days. Then one evening, the girl returned. Baba Tunde rarely used the needle for himself, but that night, he sat alone, holding a frayed pocket square, his late wife's. He stitched, not to change the past, but to feel her once more. She appeared, graceful and smiling. You're still patching the world, my love, she said. He nodded. But some patches I couldn't sew. She touched his face. You gave them choice. That's enough. His tears fell quietly on the fabric. The hour ended. She vanished. One day, a stranger burst in, a young man, sweating, panicked. You must reverse something. I stole, and now someone will die. He begged. Baba Tunde hesitated. This stitch is dangerous. You can only undo the moment, not the ripple. I accept. The stitch was made. He replaced the stolen item, just in time to stop an accident. But when he returned, Baba Tunde fell to his knees. You've broken the law of balance, he whispered. The threads in his drawers began to fade, turning grey. One too many changes. Time itself was thinning. The villagers gathered. Baba Tunde's shop had gone silent for days. Amara, Chuka, Ifeoma, they all returned, drawn by the feeling something was ending. They found him weak, surrounded by fading threads. I can sew no more, he said. But all of you, you are my final stitch. Keep making the right choices. They understood. The tailor's work had ended, but his lesson had stitched itself into them. And that, perhaps, was the most powerful magic. The shop vanished the next day. But some nights, if you listen by the old market, you hear the sound of a needle dancing, and time holding its breath.
To watch more, subscribe.